Oh, hey there. Welcome to Crusade, my ongoing art journey. If you want to learn alongside with me and stay up to date with me, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can do so. Today's lesson is the organic arrows. So, as soon as I finish this, let's get into it.
Alright, let's do the organic arrows exercise. So this one's kind of fun. It's not too difficult. It's pretty simple. Yeah, let's just, I guess, jump into it. So you're gonna essentially create an arrow in space, like a ribbon kind of arrow in space that's within perspective. It's getting smaller and larger. So let's go ahead and do one, I guess. Like that. So that's essentially, you're drawing two lines and then you're connecting them in a way, like, wow, that was bad. And you can even that's pretty bad, but it doesn't really look like an arrowhead. But the idea is you have a ribbon that's going back in space, starting back in space, and coming forward. And you can add these little lines to help show that joint. If you can draw them, unlike me. I don't know, something like that. So it kind of shows a little bit of the shadow of the curve, helps it seem a little more 3D. So that one was kind of a bad one, so let's do another one. Let's try that. Just create an arrow and then connect on the sides. And you want to make sure that they do overlap. So, like, you don't want to draw an arrow like this where the lines don't overlap, because then it's really flat, because you're trying to draw in perspective, so you want it to overlap so it looks in perspective. And you add those. Little shadow lines. When you add these shadow lines, be sure to curve it to the contour of your ribbon. That way it gives it a little bit more depth, so it feels like it's curving a little bit, because you can see how it looks like it is. Because if you just do a flat line, it's going to make it look flat. So yeah, those are the main two areas of error of how to do the exercise correctly, is to make sure that your perspective exists, so it's getting smaller and coming closer to you, and that it's not flat like this. You want to make sure it's within that 3D space, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and finish up this page. Oh, didn't overlap, but that's okay, because I can always try again. So this arrow wasn't the best, as there's only one little spot where it overlaps, but that's all right, because you had to draw a lot more. And as with most exercises, just be mindful of how you overlap stuff, because it can be really confusing if you aren't careful. And if you watch the Drawbox videos and read the lesson, which, you know, you should, because that's basically, I'm just showing you how to do the exercise after you've read it. then you'll see that essentially you're making almost an identical line. And you can vary it like I did here, which essentially just makes the ribbon kind of twist a little bit differently. So instead of it being like identical, it looks weird. Kind of like a difference curve, if that kind of makes sense. It doesn't really to me even, so I hope that's helpful. But yeah, I wouldn't overlap really more than this. I just kind of go off in the corners. Maybe make some small ones. Some big ones. Or not big ones, small ones. I don't know what I'm saying. That was terrible. Always make sure to draw to your strength in your arm. That was terrible as well. But, so that's essentially what you're doing. You just fill the whole page with these fun little arrows. You can even reverse the perspective, have it go away from you, which doesn't really change much. You're just making the lines get smaller, whoops, as they go in space. It's a lumpy ribbon. Alright, so yeah, it's essentially the whole exercise for that. It's pretty simple. It's kind of fun once you get the hang of it. And yeah, so just do that and have fun with it. So hope this helped you, and I'll see you in the next lesson.